Thank you, Lee, and thank everyone for being here. It's a great, great pleasure. I'd like to also invite up to the stage two Somali entrepreneurs that I will be interviewing. And I'm sure we're going to have a great and illuminating discussion. But before I get started, I did want to take a moment and just to sort of paint the picture of what we call the entrepreneurship ecosystem. How do we create an environment that can help support entrepreneurs to grow? One thing we know about Somalia is that there are one thing we know about the Somali region is that there are, in fact, many entrepreneurial Somalis. And we see a great outpouring of interest and enterprises that are getting started with real potential to grow. But the real question is what does it take to grow these smaller enterprises into more successful, robust firms that can create employment and economic growth and opportunity. There's been some really important research lately about what they refer to as the entrepreneur ecosystem. And basically it's saying, really making the point that an entrepreneur doesn't live in a vacuum. They live in an environment that needs a range of different kinds of ingredients in order for enterprises to grow and succeed. And those ingredients are somewhat self-evident, but it's important to keep them in mind. On the one hand, entrepreneurs have access to markets. They need access to finance. There are cultural dimensions that influence how well an entrepreneur will be successful. They need business support, technical training, bookkeeping, and other kinds of supports. They also need human capital. They need access to skilled employees and managers. And finally, they certainly need support on the policy level. How do we create a level playing field so these businesses can be successful? What I'm going to be doing right now is speaking to two very successful Somali entrepreneurs who I'll introduce in just one moment. And perhaps what's most important about these entrepreneurs is that they have done an excellent job of navigating the entrepreneurial ecosystem in order to have their very successful businesses. So to get started, on my right, which I gather is your left, I'd like to introduce Saeed Ali Abdi, and he's the general manager of Golis Solar Energy. And Golis Energy is a national leader in clean energy services and was established in Hargeisa in 2004. And has been providing solar power to households and commercial entities in Somaliland for over 10 years. Prior to his work in Golis, Saeed worked as an electric and renewable energy technician and a consultant for multiple agencies, the World Food Program, among others. And he's done solar installations with various other entities, governments, and civil society. On my other side here, I have Mohammed Ali Farah, who's the Chief Executive Officer of SMPC. And Mohammed Ali leads a prominent fishing corporation in Mogadishu, supplying fresh and frozen fish and seafood products to domestic and international markets. He provides a strategic direction for SMPC and sources international clients. Has a bachelor's in economics and social studies and a diploma in business. So these two gentlemen, these two entrepreneurs, have really been very important front runners in showing how businesses can be very successful in the Somali region. So with that, let me just start with an opening question, which is, if you could tell me your company and where did the idea come from? So that's my first question.
Thank you very much, Sherry, and I'm very glad to be here tonight and meet a lot of businessmen who will get exchange an idea. And I'm also thanking Shuraako and US Embassy and other co-hosts to organize this event. And I'm also thanking all the people and learning new people and introducing each other and get the business a relation. I'm very glad with that. If I go back to my knowledge on the company, I'm born in Hargeisa, I'm based there, and started business there. After my secondary education, I joined a local vocational training called have Yoko. After that, I met with another agency called Qatar. I got a new British training from there. A project called PED, supported by USAID. After that, I started being working as a technician, doing solar installations and electrical installations. I've been working in the country for 1 year without charging any installation service to the community, just explaining how the benefits of solar. One, the people accepted that they take some solar panels. We've been doing installation for free. Actually, it was people were different. When we finished the installation, they said, "Oh, we give you $100 because you did a good job." Well, we didn't ask them. Our target was to teach what the benefits of solar to the people. And later on, we did.
So in a sense, it was your customers who had the idea.
Yeah. From that point, we get our plan to produce, to bring solar panels and products, and later on we start after 1 year charging the people services. Whenever I install solar, I charge a little bit, and assessment was free. Up to now, we do free assessment and we charge some fare for installation. And for girls, in that period in 2002, we've been around 20 people who were trained by USAID program called PEP. Most of the young people who were together at that time, they migrated to Europe and America, and some were big business people who were not focused in the training. Still, we were two of that people who were trained together in 2002. That persons and another persons who came from Saudi Arabia, we joined together and we formed this company called Girls Energy now, which has 17 employees, 3 engineers, 10 qualified technicians, where we provide solar installations. And now, like from 2003 and up to now, we have started a configured IPP, Independent Electric Power Producer, who are in front of me, to get solar and wind and sell to people. For instance, now we did 140 kilowatt solar and wind power for the IPPs to fill in the main cities and make the electricity bill cheaper. We are doing that.
Yeah. There'll be a few more questions, and you'll have lots of time to tell more of your stories. I did want to turn our attention a bit to Mr. Mohammed Al-Farah, and I wonder if you could tell me a bit about your company and a bit about the idea, where it came from, and also a bit of the impacts. How large a company is it today?
My name is Mohammed Al-Farah. I am the founder of Somali Marine Practice Company. We started this business in 2005 when Somali government was newborn back to the country. And we thought that Somalia has the long coast in Africa, and there is a lucrative business, and they have a lot of resources, and we have the resources in Somalia. So I felt that this product is ready to supply to the needy people, and also can get export market. I started feasibility study in Mogadishu, and that the worst time after the war was ever. So I met different people. At that time, I consulted with them. I asked them how this business is viable at this time. And everyone said, oh, this is not possible at this time. Fish, the people who eat fish is not here, it's not here at this time. And come and eat, and cattle eat, and even chicken and fish is not time to eat. So go back to idea where you come from. And really, I come from that when the fighting started, I fled to Hargeisa, I'm back to British again, I come again. So ultimately I started, one of my friends encouraged me to start a business now. So I started this. I bought one boat and one small colorful, and I get one experience as a technician and qualified person who was working with Somali government and trained with Japan and everywhere. And that time he was unemployed. So I encourage him because the technician is there, professional processor is there. Then I don't have too much money. Then I consulted with my other Fridays and we come together and we collected small money and we started. We opened a Dashi Bank account. Then we formed a company name and we started the business.
Wow. And how many employees do you have today?
At the beginning we started because we have a small capital, small processing hall, and there is electricity was mostly we have a problem with power supplies. So we started 3 people, including the watchman. The technician was giving the core. Also he was electrician. He was also a processor. Other guy was the watchman. Another was a driver. He was supplying restaurants and hotels at that time.
And today, how many employees?
Today we expanded and we collected we raised another funds and we bought another machines and we hired another technicians and we get good local market and Somali diaspora was back to the country and people who eat fish come back to the country. Then we go hurt. And we get opportunity to go and search local market restaurants and encourage people to eat this fish. This is the product, and the product this is ready, not need to slaughter like a couple. So we tried many and then we started and employee now we have 20, including portaries. Temporary it reaches 40, but the permanent employee now we have is 20. Technicians, writers, financial and management team, marketing, and even some of them are in Dubai and we pay for marketing such a market.
Since we've been talking about employees, I'm wondering if you could say something about the quality of the human capital, the preparedness of the employees, and whether or not you had to also train and help develop young people in the job that you are developing. So if you could talk a little bit about the experience in cultivating the human capital that's essential for your enterprise to be successful.
Thank you very much. As I said, currently we have 17 permanent employees and 10 temporary. What we do is that every year we do training for especially the young technicians coming from the vocational training centers. We train the technicians from the vocational training centers. Then we take the most bright ones to work for us. At the moment, we are opening a new community service center where we are establishing a permanent training path. We are going also to liaise with local universities to do the certification and we do the on-job practical trainings.
Excellent. And how about yourself? Well, how do you help develop the employees that you have? Any additional training needs?
For us, employment, when we think about the fisheries, is 3 types. First thing, you really skilled for those who know how to catch the fish. Catching fish is not easy. It's true fish is in the water. And needs to catch. Where, how, it needs smart. And some very few people are now how to catch. Some people are going to inside ocean and they come back without fish, whereas someone coming with food or bowl of fish. So there is a technique, and we really outsourced one Sri Lankan man. He can bring in nutrition. He trained team they went back to. Then they learn more. And we started that. Second, there's processing. You know, when the fish catch and put in the boat and then the facility, processing facility, it needs it to keep properly, to keep clean, to keep if you get in, heating, something like that. Different processes needs very educated and trained skilled people. Fortunately, we get when the Somali government collapsed, the works of fishery was collapsing, and many people now is these skills are unemployment. So we get to not working, and they recommend each other. If you get one, you told another one, and that one, you told another one. So we collected more professional people, and they were actually working with us now.
Great. I'd now like to explore if you have received any other support to help develop your business. Because as we know, for businesses to be successful, you need to be able to import equipment, you may need help with accounting and bookkeeping, there may be legal matters. In many countries there are business development services or business incubators. And I'm just wondering if you could describe any business supports that you have received, or what would you like to receive to allow your business to be successful?
Thank you. Actually, that technicians we started to save the money we collected from the installations. And then together we bought a small Suzuki to do more installations. We've been collecting that money for a time. Then later on we opened a company basically. Later on in 2011, we got some Somali investors who backed the idea, and they joined us with a small capital around 18,000. Then it was boosted from that to move forward. In 2012, we got 13,000 from EU through ADRA, and that project was assembling small kits locally. And this is going very well now. That's for rural electrification, just 2 lights and mobile charging system. So we'll get the parts from abroad and we'll do fabrication locally, like the framings and adding value. Then it is subsidized project initially, but now we sell it as a normal money. In 2013, 14, we got a big boosting from Shuraako. We got a 60,000 from Shuraako as a loan. That one, it was the takeoff, our great takeoff. So now we do with that program, we make an installment. We just install a solar for the households and commercial businesses, and they do now payment. In this program, now we have started the communities. They started small increments through this project, whereby they took around 5 kilowatt solar power, and they are reselling in the towns. So we're doing this now in a small town in Berbera area, and another town in this area, where they resell the down payment system. So they give money for that.
Interesting business strategy, a big issue. So for you as well, I wonder, Mohammed, if you could explain if you've got any outside technical support, and also let's expand it to talk about financing. You know, have there been outside investors or commercial banking sources, or how have you financed your business as well?
For the beginning, when we were starting this business, there were no any banking system in Somalia. Even was especially in Mogadishu, and it was wartime. People did not trust each other. Everyone gives his pocket. I mean, for the investment of the such businesses like this, and now we have. So we started individual capital, we organized ourselves. We put a pool our capital of 3 of us. Then we started at that time the business. And then we grew dramatically. Gradually, then we reach a final stage that we can gather good communities, good markets, good something like that. Then now, last year we gathered some microfinance from Shuraako, $57,000 US, long-term loan. We started to pay back last month, and we are continuing the next 3 years. And we started we purchased machines like courtrooms plus preset. Because we have export market, our storage capacity is limited. Our freezing system is limited. That's why we approach Shuraako and we sell our idea and business. They understand it, everything we sit together, we finalize, we sign the contract, they release the funds, we purchased our equipment and we started business profitably, and now we started to pay back this money.
It really shows that these companies are excellent candidates for outside investment. I'm just wondering, I know that you're involved with exporting, and I'm wondering if you have benefited from letters of credit and other banking services to facilitate the export activity.
Yeah, unfortunately now in Somalia there is banks, there is microfinance banks, organizations like Shuraako, there is IDPs, there is Dafshir, there is Bank. There's too many banks now wanting to invest in Somali business. And still we have a good export market, but we have inequities in terms of the processing and production capacity. And now we purchase the fish from those who catch from the sea. And we need we are planning to get small, big boats that can catch more than 20 tons of fish a day. So still we have a good market in the agro, and we are trying to reach that market.
Excellent. So I'm going to now turn to you and actually change the subject a bit and focus on some of the cultural elements. What makes a Somali entrepreneur particularly successful? What about the culture in Somalia that is very well oriented to entrepreneurship and allows you to sort of see opportunities where others may not?
Actually, if I understood this question, this is depending on the country we look at need, like the other way. When we see the need there, what we do is that we just invest in it, then we see whether we get the success we can. So basically, we have to see the need first. Then that leads us to invest. And the other thing is that the source and channel. The channel we are getting the equipment. If that channel is also smooth, you go ahead. That's what you do. On the other way, culturally, we like to invest ourselves. Instead of getting financing from outside. So we try that, but Somali, there's no national banks and there's no So I can say like Shuraako and Dafshir and Salam. Now I think we are covering that gap of banking system, so we are getting financing from national banks. So that's what I can say.
Great, excellent. Well, I do want to focus, I know that the banking sector is very, very important, but I do think that there is something very special about the Somali people and certain cultural elements that allow you to spot opportunities and to go towards them really with a lot of hope and a lot of optimism that you'll be able to see these ideas into reality. And I'm wondering if you can share from your perspective what might be some of the cultural elements that have helped you to be successful?
I can say Somali people naturally they are entrepreneurs. If you give a Somali person more than what he can get a lunch, promptly he think what he can do this, he don't eat this, you go, what business he can do this. So if you consult with him, also he give you a lot of information, a lot of you never get it for the TVs and the newspapers and that. So Somali people, they are really entrepreneurs and they are business-minded people. They know how you can get an idea of profitable. Promptly, you give negative if the idea you have is not good profitable. If it is, you say, well, this is a good, encourage you. That's Somali culture. Even for the fish, Somali, most of them, they don't eat fish. That's why our sector, we get a headache of, they say that fish, they don't know this, they don't have a culture of fish. That's why we prepare every time and selling agro-market. Really, there is a big money market, and demanding the local is more than supply the fisheries they supply. Because there is a lot of resources, a lot of hotels, a lot of international organizations, international, Somali diaspora come from agro, who have even Somali, when they go doctors, they say don't eat red meat, eat white meat. Now they are trying to eat fish. So there is the culture has a negative sometimes in the eating of something, but the most this taboo was finished, and this time the Somali people are doing it nicely.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. The last point I'd like to focus on is the last of the elements in this entrepreneurial ecosystem, and it's perhaps one of the ones that may be considered most challenging, and that is policy, the role of government. Because as we know, the peninsula of Somalia has gone through a lot of ups and downs in terms of the role of government, and I'm just wondering if you could share some observations about what policies or standards or different ways that you could be imagining a level playing field that would support the growth of all enterprises. What kinds of policies would be helpful for your own businesses today? Any thoughts or reflections about how the government could create an enabling environment to support the renewable energy, the fish industry, and things of that nature? Please, go ahead.
Thank you. Actually, I can say without policy, things will mess up. Yeah. I can remember 2 years ago when people started no renewable products, and I've seen the advantage of renewable energy. People were just looking for the cheapest vendor. They go and they buy a very cheap one where they don't know about the renewable energy products, but they buy the cheapest, which is not branded, which is not working properly. After 1 year, I've seen some of the panels, there's another layer moving of the panel. Can you imagine? And the people who buy this, it reflects the bad image that the renewable energy products are not working properly. And this will be regulated by the policy. Whenever the person brings something which is not branded, which is not guaranteed the output, the policy should test and say this is not working. We should check it at the board. But now it's coming to the country, and even last year, for the last 2 years, it reached our sales. But nowadays people are learning and saying you have to find a branded one. So this is the area of policy will work. And the future of anything. You cannot stop products which is not branded coming into the country. So I can say without policy, nothing will work.
Excellent observation. The need for standards and transparency so that consumers can have confidence that what the product they purchase can really deliver the service that they need. How about in the fishing sector?
For the policy, I think before there was nothing in nutrition, especially South Somalia. Now there is a government. Last month, the Somali Parliament passed the Fishing Act, and now there is a regulation that the companies, fishing company must develop. And also Minister of Fishery will develop the licenses and how those people want to do fish business, how they start the business. Even the Minister of Commerce started something like that. And we are waiting now. The Somali product is still a problem with the quality control system. And when you export to the foreign company, they ask whether this product is give a certificate as recognizes international company. But I think this might be Somali government will take this responsibility and give the fisheries company and other products also. Somali products are going to give certificates and necessary documents for export. So the other thing is in terms of the illegal fishery for the vessels, foreign vessels, I think now I have information saying that they approached the company, foreign company, now who is making patrol for the Somali coast. And maybe if they get some illegal fishery, they can catch them. Last month, they said that one big vessel was captured in Somali water, the Somali portion, and then they bring to tissue boat. And I don't know where it was finished, but at least now there is the news stating that illegal fisheries was now market to watch.
Well, I think you both have done a remarkable job launching your businesses in an environment that doesn't necessarily have the same sort of level playing field and standards and safety and all the different issues that you've all encountered and overcome. It's quite admirable. So with that, I'm going to ask everybody if you can applaud our two entrepreneurs here at the table. And I will just wrap up by emphasizing that we see so much enthusiasm and entrepreneurial spirit in Somalia, but there are opportunities to create more of an enabling environment that will allow all of the entrepreneurs to be successful. And with that, let me pass it back to you.
Thanks. Well, thanks everybody. I think all of you can agree that there are many, many of you that could be up there on stage, but none better than these two. I really, of course I know these guys because Shuraako has been involved with them. And I want to make one thing clear, Shuraako is not the funder. Shuraako is a neutral broker that brought these guys to a funder, which also we're doing in the pitch ring this week. So exactly what we're trying to do is be a neutral broker to bring businesses to funders. And our role is to basically get to you, understand your concept. When we heard about the innovative approach of Polis, and we knew what was happening with SMPC, we knew we had to get them in front of a funder. And so what we've done is build a portfolio that we can show the world and say, there is safe investment in Somalia. You just need to go there and look at it and do due diligence on it. So thank you, guys. Thank you.